Hey Jim, there's your engine block, cleaned and primed and painted. And then we're going to swing over, and here are your carburetors on our test engine. We like to test the carburetors separately on our known engine before we put them on a fresh engine. That way we concentrate on breaking in the engine. Just to go over real quick, as you know, these were the carburetors that came with your car, and they've been taken off years ago, and they were really nasty and dirty, so we've got them cleaned up. Obviously all the steel parts are CAD plated. We've got all factory new gaskets. No machine work was done in terms of the butterflies or the shafts. We did dress these surfaces to where they're flat, the mounting surfaces. Got helicoils in here where the threads had pulled out. Helicoils down here on the accelerator pump diaphragms. And we are ready to test. Have a cold engine, and we don't need much of a choke. It's about 90 degrees out right now, but I'll show you the choke action anyway. So choke is working. Contact, let's see, wait. First of all, in terms of starting, make sure you got fuel. So go over here to the fuel, to the priming lever on the fuel pump. Prime the system, make sure you got fuel here. A couple of squirts, choke it. Now that's not too bad for a cold engine. And we don't do any tuning until we get it warmed up. That was my throttle linkage was stuck open because the throttle return spring is not installed like you have on your engine. Now then, what we're going to do is really need to get it warmed up, but since it's so hot out today, it doesn't require much warming up. What we're going to do is show you how to adjust the carburetors. You shouldn't have to, but I just want to show you how these are working and how the lack of machine work is part of what's going on now. Disconnect your linkage so each carburetor is running individually. And what we're going to do is we're going to check how our airflow is going through the second barrels, because these are supposed to be closed off so the car will just idle on the first barrel of each carburetor. So maybe you can see that one right there. That moved about 3.5. Ideally you want around 1.5, 1 or 0 to 1.5, and you're up to 5.5 right there. And there's not much we can do on this second barrel butterfly. It's just wear that we did our best. We swapped out butterflies and got one that worked a lot better than the original. So if you push on, we can get down to 4.5, but isn't much of a difference. So we got that taken care of. Next, we're going to synchronize our first barrel of each carburetor. Make sure they're drawing the same amount of air. That's at 5.5, and make sure you pull up on the throttle linkage to make sure that the butterfly is closed. So that's 5.25, and that one's at 7. So I think that's because of my return spring. So that's like 5. It's almost 6 right there. So we're pretty close. Now we want to snap the ball when you on the linkage on these cars. This linkage here and all the way up to the firewall, that's all set in stone. That center to center on these rods is all known. Where you get to make the adjustment is on this rod right here, and that's why it's a turnbuckle. And your mission is to adjust it to where when you snap this ball into position, nothing changes in terms of the idle. So we've got these adjusted here, and then the next thing we're going to do is idle mixture screw right here. The second barrel, this is closed off. Just You snug them down, and then you make your adjustments right here with this screw in and out, into the engine stumbles, out to the engine stumbles, and then find your midpoint wherever it runs best. So here that drop in RPM, and you don't want that drop in RPM to artificially lower the RPM. That's going to lean it out to where it's not going to work very well, and you'll get backfires. So bring it out. Starting to stumble again, so we're back in. Alright, so it wants to run well right about there, and you do the same thing on the first barrel, which we've already done. And without the machine work, we have a fairly respectable, about 1200 RPM idle, which isn't too bad. Cars that have been machined, we can get the idle down to 500 if we want to, but I don't think this is detrimental to anyone. Most people would be happy with this, and there you go. Just want to let you know we got your carburetors done and tested, and we're on to bigger and better things. Thank you.